This is me. I'm Laura Gisborne, sitting on the couch, sitting on somebody's couch. That's not my couch. I was in a rental house. I've had 9 companies over the last 35 years. I'm very excited to be with you today as a Limitless Woman founder. And, 6 of our companies we've sold, we've passed on to other owners over the years. This business really is, for me, my legacy work. It is my philanthropy. It's my desire to really help more women like yourself lighten the load so you can be clear and create highly profitable businesses. So you can join us in eradicating actual poverty. And if we have some time today, I'll talk a little bit more about the impact of Limitless Women. I will just throw it out here to let you know that collectively as a community, we have donated over $750,000 to causes that really predominantly support women and children, but they support men as well because we support the communities. And our donations are currently being made on 5 continents, which makes me really proud. Not that I don't love the penguins, so I just don't think we're going to go there. That's what it is. All right. So let's talk about planning. Let's talk about how it works for you, what's going on in your own business. The old way was a lot of hustle and a lot of grind and a lot of, if you worked harder, somehow you would do better, right? And I'm thinking about Emily, how Emily used to lead my son in a sales team. And, it was just kind of, again, often the idea is more is more. In our work at Limitless Women, our goal is to have systems and structure and support so that you actually have way less guesswork and way more effective productivity with the hours that you work. I will tell you that, we just hosted a divine business retreat, and what, kind of where I am in my own evolution as a founder and as a female entrepreneur is that I really believe that the more I turn my life and my business over to my divine purpose, right? I say God is my CEO. And the way I do that is, as a faith-based person, is matching that with current technology. So how do we have AI be the amplifier for our impact, be the streamliner for our systems, be the remover of all bottlenecks that we have in business, right? That's the place that each of us that are on this call or maybe listening to this in the future has an opportunity to be aware that this is the most precious time to be alive, right? It's just so very one of a kind, it's unprecedented. And so we can embrace that and still keep ourselves as founders who really believe in purpose, founders who really believe in human connection, founders who are humanity motivated, and data inspired. So I want you to think about in your own life, I want you to take a moment, please, and write down, if you haven't already figured this out, what your revenue goal is for the next 12 months. Do that first. What's the number, and nobody's going to see it but you, but what's the number that you have in mind for your company for the next 12 months? And I'm going to just look around, make sure everybody's looking up, okay? The next thing I want you to write down is, what are your top 3 priorities? And why I'm saying that to you is that it's really important, if you're new to the Limitless Women world, that you understand that we are on a mission here to build businesses around our lives, not build our life around a business. There's, so many stories about what happens when people make their career, their work, their full, everything in all that they are, and then they miss out on some of the most precious things in life, the relationships, the fabric, the joy, the experiences, the presence that are available when you are working your plan and your plan is working for you, right? So I think there's another thing to be considering here is that when you build a business as a business owner, instead of as a self-employed person or as a solopreneur, you're still making money when you're not working. Right? So you're building an asset here that's actually providing service, whether you're working or not working. And that's a big paradigm shift that I find in the female entrepreneur space specifically, is that there's all this valor in, if I'm not doing it, it's not happening. Let it go. There's no value in that, and it's not going to help other people, other places. So a more soulful, divine, purposed way I want you to be looking at your business is, what are your priorities? Are your priorities your health? Are they your spiritual connection with God? Are they the people you're related to? Are they your service in another way? I want you to be thinking about what's the most important thing so that when you build your plan, you're building from that first. Okay. Now, I want you to think about what we're going to talk about is how you reverse engineer from that place. If you look at this piece of like, here's a revenue goal, you just pick a number. If your revenue goal is $100,000, that's $8,333 a month, right? How do we break these things into bite-sized pieces and have AI assist us in developing the action steps so that we move from being reactive and being at the mercy of what's happening in the world to being really proactive and owning our experience in life. Okay? It's a way to move from having business be heavy and hustle and have it be easy and flow. Okay. So this, everybody got your numbers? Look at me, wave to me. Yes, I've got it. I've got my number. I'm good. You know the three things are your non-negotiables that are really your priorities. Okay, everybody's got that. Beautiful. All right. So here's the thing that I want to tell you that I think is came to me today when I was working that might be a little bit different than how we've spoken to this in the past. We had a lot of conversations around foundations, and we talk about this at Limitless Women in the live events often. When you're building, you have to build from your foundation up. When you're trying to do things like hang the curtains and you don't have any windows, if you think about building a house, and I do talk about in terms of this because I do so much construction stuff, this room did not exist. This room that I'm standing in right now used to be an open hall. When I bought this house, there was no room, and I had this idea that I really wanted this, well, you probably can't see it now, but I really wanted this beautiful chandelier. If you can get an idea of that. Can you see that little chandelier there? Really wanted that chandelier. So my brain wanted the chandelier first, but there was no place to hang it. Get the idea? So you have to kind of think about this in your own business. When you're thinking about, oh gosh, I want this outcome. I want to go to Australia. I want to go do whatever it is that turns you on. If it's scuba diving, whatever that piece is, it comes after you lay the foundation. And what I want everyone to look at, even if you've been in business like my good friend Jennifer for decades, or if you're new in business, you're listening to this, again, there's no comparison here. It's just about where you are right now. Whether you've been in business for a long time or you're brand new in business, these things have to constantly be shored up. They have to constantly be revisited. And every time you want to make a plan for execution and implementation, you're going to come back to this. What I find often when somebody is not reaching their goals, it's because they've lost sight of what's going on here, this most fundamental pieces. So the first thing that I want you to understand as a cornerstone is who is your client? Who is the person or the company, if you're B2B, that you're here to serve? And it takes so much discipline, and it's not easy to say no when it's not your person, right? It's always so flattering when I have a man who will reach out and be like, hey, can I come to your thing? And I'm like, maybe. You can come to an online thing, but you can't really come to an in-person thing because we do women's work and we create sacred spaces. And it's important that we have a safe environment where women are allowing themselves to be vulnerable, right? So, that's just the piece for you. You need to know who is your ideal client, what are they struggling with, and how are you uniquely designed to partner with them. When your marketing is wishy-washy and it's all over the place and you can help all people with all things, you get no clients. Just how it goes. All right. So when somebody can't figure out why their marketing is not working, it's often, as simple as this seems, it's often this cornerstone that's wobbly. Make sense? Everybody with me? Okay. This leads into a simple model. Now, I've got to tell you, I'm a big fan of restaurant businesses that are wildly successful that just do one thing, and they're awesome at that one thing. And they have really strong paradigms. Like I love Chick-fil-A, just as an example. I eat a kale salad from there almost every single day, which is a funny thing. I go to Chick-fil-A because they have this awesome kale salad, but that's what I eat most days. Although, Emily, we're getting sprouts. I can't wait. And I have a new salad bar. The piece around this is your model. It needs to be comprised of three things, the way I see it. Number one is the who, which is a cornerstone, right? So every time you want to slip off that, get back to your who. The number two is what is the struggle and what's the problem that your company solves. And then number three is the way that you do it in a unique way that only you can do. So every person who's on this call now and every person who listens to this call in the future, no one has your experience. There's no one like you. There's no one who can do what you do. And, again, there's not a comparison about that. It's just simply the way it is. We're all one of a kind. So when we work from that place, from that paradigm, and see ourselves as the only person who can do what we do, and we infuse our company with a brand promise that is based on values and vision and mission, I'm going to go there in a second, these things actually start to have our brand be different and stand out in the marketplace. Guess what happens when you have a brand differentiator? People say, I want more of that. This is the place I'm going to go to solve my problem. But your model is, who is it? What's the problem? One problem, not 65 problems that you can help with. And how are you going to uniquely partner with them to get a result in that one problem? Once you get that done, we have all these amazing relationships with clients who we've been working with for more than 10 years at this point, which is super sexy. But that comes as a result of solving the first problem. When people are happy, they keep coming back, right? And your model needs to be designed to grow, but it won't grow if you don't have a clean model to begin with. All right. The next piece that's important, your cornerstones, is your brand Bible summary. Now we have a unique system that we use to create this now at Limitless Women that came as a result of me just honing this and honing this and honing this and spending $200,000 over 10 years on different coaches and mentors and branding people to really get clear, where are we? I knew when we started this company and we said we are a philanthropy first organization, that we want to use our profits for purpose, that we want to give our way to millions, that it was not going to be an easy road because I couldn't find anybody else doing it. But I will tell you that when you have the courage to stand in your brand, you become sticky, not only to your clients, but to your team members. Think about Renee was texting me this morning. He's been my web designer for 12 years. He's been with me since we were powered with passion, purpose, profits, legacy leaders, which we still have legacy leaders, but then legacy leaders was offering Limitless Women. Limitless Women took over and became the head brand. And we've been there now for 10 years. We still have legacy leaders as an offering. But I'm just going to tell you that one client is not one client, excuse me, one team member has been with me through the whole thing. What a delicious experience to grow with someone who shares your values. So you want to not skip over this part. And I only have 60 minutes today, so I'm not going to be able to get into it with everybody individually. But I will tell you that this is a secret sauce that many, many entrepreneurs and solopreneurs and small business owners think they don't need until they reach the level of Whole Foods or Chick-fil-A with no Sundays. They think, oh, someday I'm going to build my core values and my vision and my mission. I got to tell you, yesterday is too late. You got to go now. If you haven't done this, you need to do this. When you're dialed in here, it makes you, again, magnetic. What you want is marketing that is magnetic so that you're not pushing. It's called pull marketing, right? It's coming to you. Instead of you trying to find clients and push to try to have them, see you, you're actually just being positioned and grounded. It's a very big difference to be positioned versus posturing, okay? So this is the fourth piece that we don't get to skip over, which is your annual revenue goal, which you've already done. You've already decided on a number. Now, I want you to evaluate that number in the context of what I've just shared with you for two things. What do you need personally to live comfortably in a way that you choose? And most of us need way less than what we think, right? I mean, there's all these conversations about $1 million businesses and 7-figure businesses and 8-figure businesses. I got to tell you, I think it's not healthy. And it's not realistic. What we want to look at is, what do you need to take care of yourself and to have the freedom to come and go as you please and do the things that are important to you? And then how much revenue does your company need to generate? And that's going to be based on the number of lives you want to impact. And it's a little bit of a quick trick, if you will, because the way to make more money, anybody interested in learning how to make more money? Yeah, the way you make more money is to serve more people. So when companies are making more money, it's not always that they're doing the right things, but they're making more money because they're serving more lives. And when you serve more lives, you have an opportunity to not only take care of more clients and customers, but you also have an opportunity to build a team of people who get to make their living by being a part of your vision that you started, but the vision then moves out into the world. It's always, for me, like when I talk about selling our companies, it's like having a child and sending them off to college. They have their own life now. They're grown-ups, which is super cool, right? They're out there doing their thing. So the revenue the company needs to generate is going to be related to how much it takes to pay you well. How much does it take to cover all expenses, including those needed for growth? We're spending right now $100 a day on Facebook advertising. Meta advertising is going to Instagram, but you get the idea. As you grow, there's different things that you want to invest in to help reach more people and increase your impact. Those are the kind of things you need to be looking forward to when you look at your revenue plan. And the most important one that doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, is what's a healthy profit margin. Now, because we came from the land of brick and mortar businesses, where if we were going to open up a restaurant or a retail store or a tanning salon, we had to come up with $50,000 or $100,000. We had to borrow that. We had to figure it out. We had to take a mortgage on a house, or we put things on credit cards, and we had to figure out how to fund our brick and mortar ventures. Now, because there's so much digital marketing in the world, especially in our space, because we work with service-based providers, often people feel like, oh, I don't have any overhead. Well, yes, you do. You have to have overhead, and you have to invest in your business. And your profit margin is going to be what you bring in less your expenses. That's the space in between. That's your profit. So there's some ways to increase your margins and work on those things, but that's kind of for a next level conversation, right? So when somebody's coming to this conversation, we're saying, okay, well, we'll just have to plan. If one of your non-negotiables is you want to increase your profitability of your business, what are the things to let go of that are not serving you? What are the things to incorporate that you're putting your head in the sand? The girl who did my lashes today was like, well, I don't really feel like taking those pictures before and after. I was like, well, okay. When you feel like marketing is not the time you have to market. You have to market all the time, right? If you want to grow your business, if it's important to you. If it's not important to you, you don't have to. All right. So here's the piece that I want to say about why most businesses are not making it. Most businesses are not making it because of a few things. The first is a lack of a clear model. I mean, way too many creative women who've got way too many talents and all the different things they could do, and they don't have the discipline to go narrow and deep for a little while. My personal opinion is that you want to go narrow and deep until at least $100,000 in gross revenue. If you're a little more disciplined, and we did this in this company, and one offer till we got to 250,000. That's when we started spreading out and doing different things, but not until we hit that first $250,000. Some people, Natalie Ellis, who's the founder of Boss Babe, who I just love her stuff. She's so awesome on Instagram. She says, don't have more than one offer until you hit $1 million in revenue. And the Ready, Fire, Aim guy, I can't remember his name right now, but he says the same thing. So depending on what your goal is, I would say check yourself and figure out what the number is that you can go to and be a little bit more disciplined to just do one thing and do it really, really well. The other thing that has people not getting business and not getting sales is because their messaging just stinks. It's not clean. It's not clear. So if you've ever been in that place where you say to somebody, what do you do? I still joke about this. If somebody asks me, what's my elevator pitch? What do? I always say, I do a lot. What do you do? Part of that came from being insecure about marketing language and messaging it, because I didn't have a clear model about how I was going to do what I was doing. Over the years, it's gotten much, much cleaner, right? So now I can tell you that we're very, very clear in our world that we are only here to work with spiritually connected women business owners who are really great at what they do and who are struggling with poverty consciousness. That's not how they identify. What they identify is they are not reaching the numbers they want to reach, and or the founder is working way too many hours and completely overwhelmed. So those are kind of the symptoms, like when we go to the doctor. Very clear about that. Together, we work to craft systems and scale their organization so they can reach more lives and give to themselves and others. When your messaging is clean and clear, you should be able to spit it out like that. The fuzzy client avatar is what I started with here in the beginning, where I said, don't think you're going to be all things for all people. Choose an avatar and be in your lane. You'll hear me say it often about the power of staying in your lane. It takes discipline, but it's worth it. It's worth it to be known as the person who does the thing. Right? It really is. When you align your model, your message, and your market, meaning who you serve, marketing becomes very simple. And when marketing is simple and it's really clean, sales become easy, because people come to you on a sales conversation and they're already ready to buy. They already know, because you've been clean and clear about your communication, and your company's communication has been super simple. This is who we serve, this is how we serve them, and this is why we're different. It makes it easy for someone to come to you and raise their hand and say, hey, I'm ready to invest in myself to solve the problems I have, and you feel like the right partner for me to work with. Oh, look, I was raising my hand and AI put a little hand up there. Cute. All right. The result of this is that when your sales are easy and natural, your monthly cash flow becomes predictable. When you have predictable cash flow, you can start to invest in growing your company and reaching more lives. With me? This is really the key to every woman that I meet in business, is to get her off a financial roller coaster and get her into profit and get her into a place where she's living her purpose and she can emotionally be at peace with her work. All right, so we have 7 pillars in our business structure. This is really our secrets for success. My stepson is the one that named me Sergeant Laura. In my business partnerships, I am not Jacob, Scotty. I am very, very disciplined with keeping my people on track. And we all want to get distracted and we all want to do the next fun, pretty thing. And the reality is that if we don't execute on the thing that needs to be done first, all the pretty things don't work. Right? So in business, if you don't have a strong foundation in your business model, your vision, your mission, your core values, your culture, you don't have those things figured out in your brand differentiator, your marketing doesn't work. You can just spend more money, but it won't get you more results. When you get the foundation piece fixed, the marketing starts working. When marketing starts working, sales become easy. When sales are easy, finance comes in, right? We have money to talk about because we've got sales. Get the idea? At that point, now you're going to need some help because you've got more clients than you can personally take care of. You need a team of people around you. In order to do that, you need to have clear communication with the team. It's one of the things I wrote to you guys this week when I was writing my emails to you, talking about, the difference for me of what AI has done for our company and for me personally is that I used to really dread. We've been doing free gifts on Friday. Can I tell you this? Since 2016. I'm recording this in 2025, 9 years of Fridays. It's a lot of Fridays and a lot of kicking and screaming on my part on a Thursday night, okay, or an early Friday morning. So I just said, look, I'm stopping. I'm going to stop whining about this. There are people in the world with real problems. I can either just stop doing Free Gear Friday, or I can find a system and create a system to make it super easy, right? We send out emails every day this week. That's so not like us. In the past, if it was all on me to write and we didn't have systems to create those things, everything became a bottleneck. So we no longer have bottlenecks around social media. We no longer have bottlenecks around consistent marketing. Consistent marketing reaches people and builds trust. Are you with me? Okay. When you have someone who's being talked to on a regular basis, they start to feel like they're having a relationship with you, even if you're not actually having a relationship with them. This is not meant to be like a mind game here, but what I'm saying is we all want to do business with someone we know, like, and trust. And trust comes as a function of familiarity. When we see somebody out there consistently, we learn to trust them. If we only hear from someone when they want something from us, if they only pop up in your inbox, they only pop up on your social media feed when they've got something for sale, we're not as excited about working with that person. With me? All right. So right things, right order, right time builds a legacy-focused business. So in our world, what we look at is building profits for purpose. How do we help you be super successful, have all of your personal needs taken care of, have your company's revenue be coming in a place where your team members are paid well, where you're able to contribute to causes you care about, and your business is an asset that you're proud of. It's a very different thing than how am I going to get it done. Now, I want you to take a moment and write down one thing. You can write in the chat here that you want less of in the next 12 months. Is there anything that I've talked about here that you said, hey, I want less of this, and then I want more of that instead? So you want to replace them. If there's something you don't want to just be like, I'm not going to do that anymore. It doesn't work like that. You got to give yourself the reward of what would you rather have. What would be important to you? What do you say? If there's something in your business, you can put it in the chat or you can write it for yourself. If there's something in your business. Hi, Mandy. I haven't got a chance to say hi to you yet. So something in your business that you're tolerating. There's something, Jen and I were just talking about this in North Carolina this week. Is there something you're tolerating? Is there something that you're putting up with that is actually holding you back? I'm sure nobody on this call is a martyr besides me, right? Whining about, I don't want to do Free Gift Friday. Just, is there something in your business you're complaining about, or a person that's on your team you're complaining about? Instead of taking the disciplined approach to say, okay, the clean cut heals the fastest. We call this in our world the short hurt versus the long hurt. The short hurt is you suck it up, you get disciplined, and you get focused. If it means that I'm going through team members like a revolving door, what's the commonality? Me. So how do I slow down, Emily, and get really focused on my communication with the team and giving them the metrics for success, letting them know what they need to have so that they can do their jobs and work with each other, right? Because I'm I'm an independent lover. I'm like hands off. I would hire great people. I expect them to be leaders and do what they do. And I don't hire people for potential anymore, right? I'm going to hire that person because I like them and try to train them. None of that. Okay. So does everybody have something, one thing that you want less of in the next 12 months? Anybody stuck there? Marina, I can't see you. So hopefully you're really well fed, honey. Okay. Hi, Beauty. I just want to get you on camera so I can say hi. Good to see you. Anything that you know you want less of in the next 12 months? Do you want to share?
Oh, I'm just so deep in this stuff. Yeah, I want less overwhelm.
Good. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And what are you going to put in there instead?
System.
Yay! That's my girl. That's all right. Good, good, good. All right. Your dream deserves more than sticky notes and late nights. Let's map out a year that gets you going with grace and ease. All right. Ready with me? Okay. So, um, this class I've given you kind of as a recap the things that you need to have in place to build your 12-month plan. What you need to have in place is let's see if I can go back to that. I'm going to go backwards here because I probably need to put another thing in here. These 4 things, these are the things that you want to really get clear about. If you're not clear about them, get some help. You can use AI to help you define them. The first thing you want is a clear client avatar. Who are you here to serve? What are their struggles? How can you help them? What's different about you? That languaging will help inform your marketing in a way that is applicable to the person that you're here to serve. So Caroline and Megan, when we look at your work and we look at offering your jewelry line as an example, that's not the marketing that we're doing. We're doing the marketing for women or men. I haven't heard from you if you're choosing just exclusively women or men, but let's pretend you were choosing just to do with women who have received a life-altering diagnosis. Right off the bat, we know that there's something going on for her. How is she feeling? Use your AI to write that out and ask yourself, what are the things here that I can be doing? And I think you're going to do the workshop with me. So I'll do it with you and I'll give you all my prompts and help you with that. Okay. The next thing you have to have is your business model, which is how do you fund your business? What is your revenue stream? Now, if you've got one thing that's dependent only on you, your scalability becomes weak, right? You want to have something that can go on beyond you and not just be dependent on you. You want something that can be delivered by other people, not just by yourself or Emily, by your husband, right? Who else can be delivering the promise for the company? So you don't want to just be dependent on yourself, and it must be designed to grow, right? So when I talk about selling businesses, I would build a business with the end in mind, knowing that I would love the creative part, but I didn't want to do service delivery. I didn't want to have to be the person in the trenches, like in the wine business. I want to be the person in there doing wine tastings or working in a restaurant as a waitress, although I was as a young person. As an old person, I'm not as gung ho about that, right? So who do you need to have around you? The other thing you want to have is crystal clear clarity on your brand Bible. And again, if you decide to come through the workshop with us, I'll explain to you, I'll give you our prompts and share with you exactly how we do this, how we came up with this for ourselves using AI to really clarify this. But when you put these things together, you put it into your business plan, and then you reverse engineer based on your annual revenue goal. You're clear about that number. You use these pieces that I'm inviting you to be clear on as the foundational pieces to feed into your LLM, your LLM of choice, or a bot if you're using our systems, and it will spit it out for you because it will take the criteria that you're giving it. So I'm just going to take a little pause here and just wrap up real quick with this, and then I'm going to answer questions for everybody. Talk a little bit about using AI, how to have it work for you, how to have it work with you. But before I do that, I just want to say that next week, I think it's next week, December 11th, 12th, and 13th, I'm going to be doing a 90-minute per day fundraiser for Girl Up Uganda. And what I'll be doing is I'll be giving you, if you decide to come, you come each day for an hour and a half. I'll give you our exact prompts and we will craft your business plan together. So I will give you the exact prompts and I'll give you the stuff and the bots that we've built for our company to build out a brand Bible. I'll give you our prompts and what we use in our company because we use some different things in different places with LLMs. that we're using to help our clients get clarity on their ideal avatars, the prompts that we use to improve their offers and improve their profitability in their business and to really analyze their numbers. We put all of those things in place to build a 12-month plan. Okay. And what comes out of that is what are the activities that need to be done daily, weekly, monthly, and what are the metrics for success? So what should you be focused on in quarter one? What should you be focused on in quarter two, quarter three, quarter four? When you're looking at reaching a revenue goal, what's the order of those things? Those things are really important to have in order so you don't get distracted. And the marketing activities. So what's going on daily to invite people to come into partnering with your company and solving their problems. So that 3-day training is I don't know how AI came up with this number, a $988 value. Woohoo! And your access, if you choose to join us, is just $97. You'll make a donation to Girl Up Uganda, which means a young girl will actually get to go to school for about 3 months by your simple $97 donation. So we appreciate you in advance. Those of you that already made contributions to Girl Up Uganda, we just so appreciate you. And I'll say that this is, some of the bonuses that come with this. I keep alluding to the power of having our prompts and our engineering and our bots. So rather than you spending hours trying to figure out how to do this, this is what we do all day, every day. And it's come as a result of, I would say if somebody comes to me, and many of you know this, who've been friends of mine for a while, and you want me to just be your business partner and work on your business. You just want to have my brain, my 35 years of experience on your business for your systems. What are the systems I need in marketing, Laura? What are the systems I need in finance? What are the systems I need to hire my team and have them grow with me, right? That kind of business that we offer as a $12,500 day with me, FYI, okay? Been doing it since 2013. A lot of years. I've been just like, that's my superpower. You want to get to a goal? This is how you're going to do it. My brain knows what are the systems you need to put into place to make it happen. Okay. That's what people pay a lot of money from my brain. Because we've been able to use AI, I've been able to take all those distinctions and all those discernments and work with people like this in a small group where we can actually have, instead of one person being served, 5 people being served, 10 people being served, 12 people being served. So it's really sped up and amplified the number of lives that we can impact. And it's super cool, but I'm still here. I haven't been replaced yet, but I'm telling you that what's available when we work together with this is really fantastic and amazing. And I want to see that happen for each of you. If you're interested and you want to partner with me, I just invite you to make a donation to do that. So we'll give you all of our prompts, all of our systems, our brand Bible builder, which is a big deal, because once you have your brand Bible summary, I should add this. Yeah, put the note for me. So when I do this one more time, because I'm going to do it one more time, then we're going to just record this training and make it evergreen. The thing that I want you to know is that when you have these systems completed and you have them clarified, it makes it way easier for the team to support you.
Are you a limitless woman? This is your personal invitation to learn how you can join our online community, grow through our business school, and play with us at our live events. Go to limitlesswomen.com for all the details. That's limitlesswomen.com. Thanks for joining us.